Is this thing on? Testing, testing, testing. 1, 2, 1, 2. You know those roadies who get up on stage before a gig? Well, Simon once said that the reason they say 1, 2, 1, 2 is because none of the roadies can count to 3. Made me laugh. I suppose you have to be there. Anyway, how can you tell if these things are working or not? I mean, low tech or what? At least it works. Wasn't sure that it would. It had been abandoned and left to rot in the cupboard under the stairs. Kinda know how it feels. Oh well, I better get on with putting this thing onto tape. I've been making these notes for weeks, jotting down the things I remember, and the conversations, the impressions I had at the time. Just so I could do this. You know, make this tape. Just to tell you these things in my own voice. I'm doing this in the hope that someone will listen, and that they'll realise that everything's changed. It's changed forever. The world that they're living in, out there, it's not always been. You know, there are a few of us, just a few, who remember the way that things were, the way they were meant to be. I've worked this whole thing through in my head, and I think it's the tenses that are going to be the problem. The has and the is, the had and the was. But the first set sounds better in my head because they're as they were at the time and not as they are now. Makes sense. My English teacher would probably throw a fit, but then he's probably changed too. It's my story anyway, so I think I'm just going to tell it the way that it feels natural, the way it feels right. I even remember the way the story started in the first place, the very moment it all started to change. That crazy thing that Danny said that summer afternoon, and when Danny Burney told us that he'd hypnotised his sister, we all thought that he was mad, or lying, or both. The sister in question